So what do you think should be said about the book that will help?
Well, just but the point of the book is that we're kind of backtracking in that if you can't, all the problems of self-esteem and self-trust, self-respect, and the foundations, the reason why relationships are unraveling and why no one, parents, the chinuch is a problem and v'chule, is because people are just ignoring these basic truths of life. That, for example, if you're not trustworthy, you can't be trusted. And if you're not trustworthy to yourself, if you don't hold your own word, then you won't trust yourself and you won't respect yourself, and it all unravels. So this is like going back to the most, this is just about being a human being. Before we're talking about serving God, we're talking about taking responsibility for your behavior. We're talking about building yourself, not in a kind of quick fix, seminar, 2025 seminar kind of way, but taking real responsibility, making commitments, keeping them, building, working out your mission while you're here, and building self-trust, and then moving into the interpersonal world of, building healthy, robust relationships. And then you're really in a place to, to have a healthy relationship with the Rosh Hashanah. So that's really what the course is. The course is going back to basics. It's a course about how to be human as opposed to how to be Jewish, because you can't really be Jewish if you're not human. But we can't take the being human bit for granted anymore, because it's not so. That's not so posh. So this is what is a response to, and then on top of that, the chiddush of the thing is all the technology that we've used and how you're engaged through the WhatsApp and through all the different with the music and all the different channels that we've created. So that gets the ideas into your das. That's really the chiddush.
So it sounds like you're boiling it down to self-trust. Is that the point of the whole thing?
I think the foundation of everything is that, no? Without that, everything unravels. If you don't trust yourself, then you can't respect yourself. If you can't respect yourself, you can't love yourself. If you can't love yourself, then you can't be yourself. And if you're not yourself, well, then there's nothing doing. You can't have relationships with other people. If you are having a relationship with other people, it's just kachkabaya. It's not a real relationship. If you don't appreciate that you're real, meaning you haven't taken responsibility for yourself, well, kal v'chomer, how can you appreciate that another person's real? And if you can't appreciate that another boss of Adam is real, has a S.E.E.D.S, doesn't just exist in context of you, well then how could you ever dream of having a relationship with the invisible silent creator? He's for sure a figment of your imagination. So the whole thing is predicated on that, yeah.
So how is that different from the pop psychology of self-love?
Because it's not about affirmation, it's about building self-love. It's not about building self-love, it's about building self-trust. Just like you can't love someone who you don't trust and who you don't respect. So that's a principle. Meaning the only way to trust someone is if they are trustworthy. Like gravity. There's no fudging that. There's no way around that. I can offer you all the money in the world to trust me. I can be nice to you, whatever, but if I am not trustworthy, you can't trust me. So the first stage is becoming trustworthy unto yourself. And when someone betrays your trust, then imagine the feelings that a person has to someone who betrays them. So too, you will end up with those feelings towards yourself. So the pop psychology of loving yourself, of pumping you up with affirmations and drugs even and different, it's all, I describe it, excuse the analogy, it's like taking a pellet from the bathroom, from a urinal, and covering it in chocolate. You're not doing anything. The only way of genuinely loving someone is through building building trust and respect. You can't trust someone who's not trustworthy. You can't respect someone who's not respectable. So it doesn't get off the ground. So we're doing all these things, and we're missing out that it just doesn't work. There is no way of having a relationship with yourself unless you can start to, basically the foundation of everything is making and keeping promises, is making commitments and humbling yourself to your promises, meaning that you humble yourself to your word, and now you actually graduate into being an independent being. Before that, you were just dependent, meaning you were whatever way the wind blows kind of thing. You're dependent on your emotions, you're dependent on the weather, you're dependent on what he said about you. The minute you can start making and keeping promises, that means you can rise above your feelings and you can take control. Now you've basically become a mensch. Now you can start to trust yourself. And once you can trust yourself, then the doors are open to respecting yourself, and now you've got a mensch. Now you've got a mensch on your hands. Now you've got somebody who's capable of having relationships, healthy relationships with other people, and then eventually a genuine relationship with the Rosh Hashanah. But the chiddush of this course is that it's very nice. Learning a new idea, going to a vort, hearing a shir is very nice. But those ideas don't enter into your das. Like the Rebbe says, you need to have smother. You need to go over it again and again and again and again and again for these ideas to fall into your das. So it's all very nice having a shir about all these nice ideas, but it just kind of, doesn't really do much. Where that's the chiddush now of what we're doing here, is that you have this kind of follow-up program through WhatsApp, where we give you this really powerful information in really kind of fun, exciting, or funny, or very deep and moving and emotional, like little, we drop these ideas. We call it S.E.E.D.S, which stands for Steady Engagement Ensures Deep Scripting. And that's really where the magic of the course takes place, with the fact that we drip these ideas to you in context, and with real thinking behind it. We drip it to you, and it's changing people. I'm getting email after email now. We've had a few hundred people run through the course. Email after email of people saying in 10 weeks they've had their life revolutionized, and wives telling me that they don't recognize their husbands anymore. After 6 to 8 weeks, they don't recognize their husband in the best possible way. Because the guy realized it's not so hard. You just need to know the rules. If you like one of the things no one talks about with pornography is, we understand all the tumor and etc. Okay, but that to the side, I think what's much worse is the fact that you lose all respect for yourself. Just like if you were to walk in and see someone, you're walking on your rabbi, Chaz v'shalom, and you see him looking at something inappropriate on the screen, yeah? Well, he won't be your rabbi anymore. You'll lose all respect for him. So people are looking at this filth on the computer, and they don't realize that they are severely impairing their ability to respect themselves, maybe even making it impossible, and then they're upset that their children and their wife don't respect them. Well, you're not being respectable. How can your kids and it's crazy because the fathers are talking to me about, oh, my kids don't respect me and my wife doesn't respect me, yeah? And I'm like saying, well, you don't respect yourself. Why should they respect you if you're not being respectable? But that's not the real the real tragedy is that you're not giving a respectable father or a respectable husband to your children and to your wife. That's an even bigger tragedy, because the children and the wife they need a respectable father and husband. So the course is really answering that in a very in like a really real way.
This woman wrote an article years ago. Why don't we discipline our daughters? The answer is because we remember what we did on campus when we were young. Who are we to tell them Yeah, you've lost your authority because who are you? So what I'm hearing so far is don't love yourself, have a self.
And the thing is, the course begins, someone from America is sponsoring the whole thing for free. So this course, which is we've been selling for $400 until now, begins on Sunday for free. And it's a big opportunity for people. It's almost free. So we wanted to put it out there today or tomorrow onto your channel, and people can just go to the website and just sign up for free, and hopefully it can make a difference to people.
Between every event and your reaction, there is a pause, a sacred space. In that space lives your true power, and that pause is not small, it is everything. Most people rush past it. They lash out, shut down, or run on autopilot. But when you pause, when you breathe, something extraordinary happens. You reclaim your freedom. That moment of stillness is not weakness. It is strength at its purest. It is the place where wisdom whispers, where values rise above moods, and most essentially, it is the place where our humanity is expressed. In that sacred silence, we rise beyond instinct and reflex. We choose not to act as machines or as animals, but as humans, created to reflect the divine. It is the moment you shatter the shell of habit and are born anew, radiant, alive, and shining as the soul Hashem intended you to be.
From the upcoming film True Crimes, please welcome two-time Golden Globe winner, Jim Carrey.
Thank you. I am two-time Golden Globe winner, Jim Carrey. You know, when I go to sleep at night, I'm not just a guy going to sleep. I'm two-time Golden Globe winner, Jim Carrey, going to get some well-needed shut-eye. And when I dream, I don't just dream any old dream. No, sir. I dream about being three-time Golden Globe winning actor Jim Carrey. Because then I would be enough. It would finally be true. And I could stop this terrible search for what I know ultimately won't fulfill me. But these are important, these awards.
When you don't know your mission, life can feel like this. A tiny ship on a vast, restless sea, drifting, guessing, reacting. Every wave feels bigger than you. Every change feels like a storm. And no matter how hard you try to steer, you never quite know if you're moving towards something or just being carried by the tide. But then something amazing happens the moment you discover your mission. Suddenly the camera pulls back. The sea is still there, the waves, the motion, the journey, but now you can finally see the truth. You were never lost. In fact, the entire ocean is being held in your hand. Because when you know your mission, life doesn't shrink, it just comes into focus. You gain direction, strength, clarity. The storms don't disappear, but they no longer scare you, because now you know who's steering. And you know where you're going. A mission doesn't just guide you, it holds you. And it transforms the entire journey.